And it's time now for your 6:30 headlines. Authorities in Durban have advised motorists to plan their travel routes to avoid traffic congestion, as there will be a motorcade and a march related to former President Jacob Zuma's appearance in High Court today. Meanwhile, hundreds of supporters of Zuma attended a night vigil at the Albert Park ahead of the court appearance this morning. He's facing 16 charges, including fraud, money laundering and racketeering. The march is expected to start around 7:30 this morning, and during Zuma's last court appearance, thousands of people lined the streets. This morning, motorists have been cautioned to avoid specific roads as they will be blocked to accommodate the proceedings. President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on the Afrikaans speaking community to embrace the land debate and to unite South Africa. He was delivering an address to mark the centenary celebrations of the Afrikaner Bond in Paarl in the Western Cape last night. Formerly known as the Broederbond, the organization was established in 1918 to advance economic and cultural interest of Afrikaners. Ramaphosa says that the country cannot change its divided past, but its citizens can work together to achieve a common future. The Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Lindiwe Sisulu, is in New York ahead of South Africa's election to join the United Nations Security Council. Later today, the UN General Assembly selects 5 new non-permanent members to join the 15-nation council. South Africa is expected to comfortably win one of those seats, guaranteeing it a position on the world's main body for maintaining peace and security for the next 2 years. On the eve of the election, Minister Sisulu rallied support at the UN headquarters. Nick Harper reports from New York.
Well, in just a few hours' time, that building behind me, the UN General Assembly Hall, will be the location of the election of 5 new non-permanent members to the UN Security Council. And of course, South Africa is running. They're running unchallenged for the upcoming African seat, so they're all but guaranteed of obtaining it. But in the run-up to the election, the South Africans held a special event here at the United Nations, attended by the Minister for International Relations and Cooperations, Lindiwe. She spoke about this being a way to honour Nelson Mandela, that this was the most ideal way of continuing his legacy of standing up for human rights and giving back to the world. She also said that at a time of protracted conflicts around the globe and at a time where the UN Security Council is particularly divided, South Africa would be able to bring a new dynamic.
We're still very committed to making sure that we can keep the world together. We don't want another war. We don't need another war. We who've suffered so much can hardly stand away and allow anybody else to continue suffering. We bring a difference because we care. We care because we've been through it.
All 193 members of the United Nations get a chance to vote in this election. South Africa needs 2/3 of the votes, or 129 of them, to win the seat. They have been on the UN Security Council twice in the last 12 years, and on both of those occasions they managed to obtain more than 180 votes when it was election time. So the minister says that she has her fingers crossed, but based on past experience, the seat is basically South Africa's. The real work will start when South Africa joins the UN Security Council at the beginning of next year on the 1st of January. Nick Harper, SABC News, New York.